So we was driving down the street in the car. My parents kept following us and kept trying to hit our car and push us off the road. So we pulled over. They'd previously broke my partner's windows in his car, so he's jumped out of the car because they've run at the car with weapons. When he saw the weapons, he's then tried to take off. I jumped out of the car to try and help because my brother at the time was chasing my partner with the weapon. It was like a long pole thing, and he was trying to hit him, and my partner put his hand up because he was aiming for his head, and instantly it just broke his arm. I went over to try and help. I tried to grab the weapon because he was coming at me at this point to try and hit me with the weapon. My dad's telling me to let go of the weapon, otherwise he'll hit me. My brothers then started hitting into me to try and make me let go of it. I went unconscious for a little bit. I've jumped back up. My dad has then hit my partner with the weapon he had in the same arm. They started screaming. My mum's then got involved trying to hit my partner. My brother's girlfriend's out trying to hit us as well. No one's helping properly. No one's actually trying to stop what's happening. They're only trying to pick us up when we get knocked down to the ground. My family then left and they went to the police station to have us charged. When the police got there, because we couldn't leave because my partner was in so much pain, we had to insist that they call the ambulance and get the ambulance. After they watched the CCTV footage, then realised what happened, because at first we was in trouble for what happened. Immediately my family got arrested. So I made a complaint because my whole entire life they've always been on my parents. My sister was living in the house at the time and she was only 16, and then my niece and my nephew was living in the house and they was 2 and 7. They weren't getting treated right. They'd never had clean clothes. There's no running water in the house. Like, they're always getting abused. They're always getting bashed. My brother is also there's many people in the family that he has touched, and he's touched his own 7-year-old son. I knew it was true because growing up he was very violent towards us and he would try things with us. I know it's not my responsibility, but as her sister, it's just the right thing to do. So that's the reason why I instantly made the report. And I was extremely mad about it because when DCJ went to view the house, the kids got taken instantly. And then my little sister come to live with me, and that just made them extremely mad. They thought that I'd ruined their life. Instead of seeing their own wrong and seeing that they need to change what they're doing in life, they just took out their anger on me and my partner. No one took me in. No one cared about me when I was a kid, and I was stuck in that life. And I wish someone would have helped me and would have offered for me to come live with them at the time. I had an older sister, but she was horrible and she would never have offered to take me in. They were sending threats for ages about wanting to take my baby away from me because I took their kids away from them. And then after the attack, they were sending messages saying they hope my baby dies from it, and that if it doesn't die, they're still going to try and get it taken by DCJ. So for me to hear all that, I'm still in shock, and it's been probably 6 months now, and I still can't comprehend what happened, why they would do it, what makes a person do that. They are on, so that's the only thing that gets me through the day, is just to tell myself, look, it's not really them. My whole entire life, they've always been on my parents. And then when my brother, all my siblings, when everyone got to a certain age, they all started turning to just like my family. So that's the reason why I can see wrong in it, and I'm hoping that my sister never goes that way either. But they just don't see wrong in it, and it's so normalized for them because they've done it for so long. I think the reason why I'm not like them is because I was hanging out with the better kids at school at first, and then I just didn't want to be like them. Like, I didn't want to have no money like them, and I always wanted to eat, and I always wanted to have nice clothes or nice things. And I just don't like the kind of people they are. So I think that's what's made me not be anything like them. I've had my own child, so I think that's also helped because I want my child to have the absolute world, and I don't want him to have any kind of childhood like I did. So that helps me be a better person, I think. Growing up with them all, I was always embarrassed. Like, I'd never have friends over and stuff. Everyone knew that they was on drugs because the way they dress or they smell, and you can just tell that they're on and they don't have any thought about themselves. And then obviously when my siblings started using, it got even harder for me because then I'm judged for not being like them, because the reason why they like my brother so much is because he is just like them. He's the perfect version of the kid they want. And because I question what they do, and I will stand up for myself or stand up for the kids in the house and say, look, this isn't right, you need to fix that. That's what made it so hard for me, because I just wasn't like them. The reason why I decided to start uploading things on my social media was because, like, I was sick of being belittled and feeling like I had no power and there was winning. and that I had to just be this person that just kept quiet and didn't tell people what really happened in the house. So when I started uploading stuff about my family, they got really defensive and they started making up lies and trying to shame us into taking things down. And they started messaging us. They got very angry. They got DCJ to contact us and tell us to take the videos down. They tried to get lawyers to tell us to take the videos down and threaten us with certain things. But when it went to court, nothing happened from it. I'm allowed to share my story, even if they don't like what the story is. My parents made sure we was completely isolated. We wasn't allowed friends or anything growing up. If we had friends, my dad would say, if I see you have a friend at school, I'm going to go to school and I'm going to flog you in front of everyone. I did have a dog growing up that I really liked, but my parents gave her away. We never really had anything or anyone. I think it was more of a control thing. I think that they had more control that way, and it kind of puts us where they want us. So if we're weak-minded or feel like we have nothing, we're going to stay because then we've only got them. So when I moved out of home, obviously that's what really triggered them. My parents don't actually speak to me anymore, and they don't speak to my sister. They don't contact us very often, and they won't talk to us. They shut us out and they tell all lies to the family. So we have no one. I want to have a relationship with them. I don't want my kid to have a relationship with them, but I still want to know they're okay. I do want them to change the way they are, and I want them to have a happy life for the rest of it. What scares me is that I know that they cannot be trusted near my kid, and they cannot ever know where I live or anything like that because they just have no limits. What also scares me is not being able to make amends and talk to them and for everyone to see reason before they die, because I don't want them to die without being able to talk to them one last time. I don't think I need to make amends with them. They need to make amends with me. They need to just apologize. I think that's really important for everyone, just to apologize and just have no hard feelings, because I think that holding on to stuff in life is just not worth it because life's so short. When everything was happening, I was in so much shock. Like even now I'm still in so much shock. I had so much anxiety over what happened. I didn't want to believe what happened. I don't know why, but at the time I didn't believe my dad had hit my partner, and then I didn't believe it until after I watched the footage, what had happened. There were certain things I couldn't remember. I couldn't remember the things my dad was shouting at me. It wasn't until after, when I watched the footage, that I was like, oh my God, like my dad was just as bad in all of this. And, I couldn't believe the shock had completely wiped my memory. Like I just blocked it all out for a few days. I haven't really processed what's happened yet. I tried to talk to my dad. I booked a visit in the jail and I tried to talk to him. He did say sorry, but he had no remorse for what they did. Like he was only sorry that, he was still very mad. And so I haven't really processed it, and I suppose one day I will process it. But I think it's important for people to know that the way I grew up isn't okay. And if they're growing up in the same situation, or if they did grow up in the same situation, it isn't okay, and it is okay to speak up. And even if the consequences are bad, I'm sure most families would stop talking to people over it. Growing up like that, you are the victim. There's no point just looking past it and being family with these people still and having them in your kids' lives and stuff when they aren't really good people. I do think it's important to still have family in your life to an extent. Like you can communicate with your family in other ways, like on the phone and stuff. But I just don't think it's worth having people close to you that are going to hurt you or hurt the ones you care about. Because when they do these things, you can't take things back. I could have lost my kid because of it. My partner could have lost his life, and all because I wanted to have a family. And back then I wish that I knew that you could walk up to your teachers or walk up to even a police station or something and just tell them what's going on. And there is other solutions. You don't have to live in that environment. Going into care is not as bad as the that you'll go through at home. I know that our parents are painting this picture of care, making it look like bad things are going to happen in care and stuff. And definitely bad things do sometimes happen, but not as regularly as we think. And it's not going to be anywhere near as bad as your home life. You're going to be fed. You're going to have clean clothes. The only thing you're going to miss out on is your parent. So I really had to make sure that even my sister knows that what happened is wrong in that house. And it's okay to speak up, and you don't have to be embarrassed about what happened. Yes, it is embarrassing, but we have nothing to be embarrassed about. We was made to live that way, and we didn't choose to live that way.